nhớ rồi nè, say hello, nhớ rồi tụi này sẽ nè, sẽ nói ya, sẽ chọn đủ, nó là sa cơ đi, chỉ một hồi lử cái bự in hú và xì, ta kia nó là hai YouTube ta chỉ sát hồng bự in hú nó có sợ nó, máy cổ xong nhớ rồi mi cần giờ, nhớ rồi có tụi mi tiết lâu, nó là nếu bỏ cái lúc đúng là cụ pinch cho lúc mấy giờ lúc nó ta lý sư cái chả nên họ được thua là lúc nào cụ lòng cho lúc nó lọt lúc bắt tan trong trên mùa nè lúc nào mà cụ也chăm bắt tàu ra nên bỏ cụ bắt tàu đã đa nè lúc nào lúc Honda Ariel ít pass xì nè cụ ít tụi nên nhớ chăm bắt tàu thôi nhớ rồi from Santa Barbara County, California. Hey, good to see you, bro. All the way from the south, Santa Barbara. I used to watch the show, it was a ABC or CBS or AMBC, Santa Barbara. Still remember all those celebrities that was in there was hot. They were very hot celebrities, you know. Days of Our Life, Santa Barbara. Yes. Couple, the city of Santa Ana, right? I think Disneyland is over there by Santa Ana, right? More there Santana, but it's Santa Ana. So I have lived here since 1976. Wow, bravo, brother. Yeah, you're a survivor. Born in East LA. Chinken Chong le ya.根本要到的地了呀 East LA. But Santa Barbara có yên rong hả by the ocean, right? Thằng cụ trẻ nhớ khá lì bắt đầu 1980 giờ yên cho thế mà but didn't really stay there. Just travel there, drive through, kind of explore a little bit. Been to Disneyland, Santa Ana. Got to the border but never crossed to Tijuana, been to Los Angeles. Rong cơ mà đấy cho là có dù mua hậu lửa rong đấy dù mua nhẹ nó vậy dù nhỏ thì can't complain hậu lúc đấy cho mình can nó dù khi có hỗ trợ gì rong chim bảo đi California vậy đã có mà in Cali it's so hot when I used to live in Bakersfield as a teenager used to cross country run around the farm fields and used to go fishing on the canal, little stripers. Living with the Mexicans, 99% of the city that I used to live were Mexicans or Latinos. So I imagine that in Santa Barbara, there's a lot of Latinos out there too, because it's close to the Mexico. But like I said, Thaum California cái này mà hỗ trợ của cô hàng này chỉ có sao có một种có sao cái nó chỉ có ngay lú pot lú là cao lú gì cho một tròn đầu là giờ cái lú tài đó chỉ chỉ có trong cái tê thế này cú thầu cú chơi teenager cú nhớ luôn là California mà dùng nhẹ lấy cho nãy giờ nên tank top thế này and then you walk around you go stay in the heat all day, and then when you first started, your shoulder is peeling off from it was cooked, and then you got your dead skin, and then later on your skin peels off. That's how hot it is in Cali. But humidity, it's not like over there is dry and plain hot dry. Not like Florida or Texas or like up in the Midwest where we live, up north. And it's so humid in the summer, and you get sweating all the time. Former President Ronald Reagan's superstar side Michael Jackson's live here. Yes, I remember in the 80s. I was a teenager though. So anyway, good to see you. Thanks for joining me, okay? We'll talk a lot. So, cú nhà cha mà tàu thế này ạ, thầu cú lùa mà cú mua nhà mà tàu like they call crouch rockets. Cú mua ý lú Yamaha và tàu po cc thế này ạ, cho Yamaha và thầu sporty crouch rocket nè. Like back in the 90s, CBR, Honda CBR, Ninjas, Kawasaki Ninjas. Thầu biết rồi lùa biết cha mà tàu xí à. Chế lâu ra thì cú Yuav bên nhà mỗi mình nhỏ thì cú chạy cú lúm bay đã nữa. It's from a long time ago. Yeah, xong up hạ on này à, cú Yuav đã nữa. Yeah, you cruise as it cho chạy với xe này à. Sometimes I go cruise around the country roads, just enjoying the weather, So, anyway, nó thì cú là thằng nó it's called nếp bún nhà cú, đúng là giờ chăm mà tàu sa, tôi thầu lo gì bắt tay nó chơi mua này, đấy là I think chơi mua lo thì cú nó lo nó như phì ra ba, giờ mình cứ tí là giờ phong yêu. Anyway, this is for chăm mà tàu đấy là cú muốn tông là muốn cho là nó bé thảo xin là thế nào, okay? Có cú là hay mấy tụ phong yêu nữa. I have a Yamaha 250 still in my garage. Wow, small, but I think it perfectly fits that area where you live, right? Because it's too much, too crowded, too busy streets. Long Beach. Gucci K, Gucci K, Gucci K, Gu Ying Chi K. Cho sa tia cú tranh lũ cô, điều lý cô cú yên cú chi kê, giờ cả rồi ba bèn là bà, ba nọ giờ ba muốn nhau học Long Beach này bây giờ, they used to hang around the 80s, mà 90s, mà 80s, in about late 80s này, không chẳng có rồi nó sẽ thế, lò gì ta tao, do California cơn gò đấy gì. Cú tư là nhóc học tế nó tao bé cho xong là brother. I moved up north for 30 years. Mong Her, yes. That song, that band. Love it. I miss the 80s. I came to the USA when Michael Jackson and Madonna came out of the blue and then start getting very famous. And like a prayer, touched down very first time like a virgin. Còn đó mà biết một cần đó mà oh man, tin này mà nali Madonna, nali Michael Jackson này. JC Filipino, oh good to see you joining me here. Shout out to the Philippines, okay? You Filipinos. No, I'm not Filipino. I'm Mongolia. Originally, ancestry from Mongolia, okay? But, immigrants to Southeast Asia, so I'm Southeast Asian. Yeah, so our ancestors were from from East Asia. So let me put this way, my, the people that live in Eastern Russia, Northeast China, very Northeast China, that's where we came from. migrated from Mongol to that area because the Russian invasion of Mongolia. It's funny thing how Genghis Khan conquered and then ruled Russia for many years in 1215 BC and then conquered the whole, like Asia continent and, part of Europe. But then, in the end, Mongolia shrink up to a little area in China between, and it was squeezed by Russia and then all those things. It's called bad management. Okay, Kublai Khan, grandson of Mongolia king, Genghis Khan, right? But listen to this. According to history, the Mongol never conquered Vietnam, or it at the time was Viet. Okay, at the time in 1215 to 1220, around there, it's called Viet. Michael Chong, I came from Nam Yau Camp, Thailand to Santa Barbara County, 1976, age 18, young brother. Oh, I know. My wife, they came to Nam Yau too, because my father-in-law was a was teacher was a teacher that it's and I could do more because she has some uncle lived out there in LA too, in I think Santa Ana, Santa Ana, yeah. And she has an uncle that used to work for General Wayne Powell. Is like one of the more leader that are under General Wayne Powell. So like General Wayne Powell's first wife is, you know him? Okay, cool. So yeah, my wife them when she was just like 3 years old, came to Nam Yao. They came from Nasu, right? They flew out of Nasu to Longcheng, and then they ride with the airplane, the that big airplane that they got in there, and then they land in I think they landed somewhere in Thailand, and then they were put in to stay in Nam Yao. Big so Nam Yao there. Remember, you came in '76, so that's a long time ago, man. Long time ago. You probably the first wave of people that came to the U.S. First wave of Hmong refugees that end up in the U.S. I was a teenager when I moved to Minnesota, and I was about 20 already, and my buddies, we used to hang out with this Hmong Wu guy. He owns like a insurance agency, and he was like the first or the second Hmong that opened up a Hmong insurance agency. He's a Hmong agent. So back in 1990, 80 and 90, there were just two Hmong insurance agents that live in Minnesota. Vatuha or what's his name? Lu Wu. And he used to tell me that when he first came to America in 1976, he landed in Michigan. And he had the oh man, 头骨多嘛靠些的丢，咱们多咱们哥呢，多在อเมริกา全部都冇嚟端端嘅，或者环亚些尤其说保罗美加用啲狗一样的些被多呢，下就招头路嚟September，你多在那美加nhau嘅，你係點可以冇啲啲，啲就啲龍高啲，วินัย啲啲，มี啲น้ำยาว啲啲เป็นจอดเจyou know. Today, I am an engineer working for Lockheed Martin Company and realtor. I bought property around the U.S. rental. Wow, good to know, Michael. Proud of you, man. I know that there's a more guy in Minnesota, and he has about 300 homes, and he's one of the richest Hmong, business, real estate owner in Minnesota, but nobody knew about him. So I kind of hooked up with some of them more, and they told me that he's a rich guy, and he owns over 300 homes. Rent them out to people, and rental properties. Good to hear from you, brother. Proud to see somebody like you, or to see somebody like you here and listen to my crap. Okay, so this Lou guy, right? I'm over theตัวจอมีกระเตนว่าคอเชียเตียชั่วโมงหมอนอนะ at the in 76 there are not so many Asian over here, so ในตัวจอยมีการย่อหรือnotข้าวจีnot bread there not like spaghettis, all those things, hamburgers, all those things. He was so craving for rice, and like, you got rice, bro, you got rice. But then his sponsor family said no, and they took him to like the store, and what they found just like wild rice from the Native American Indians, and he managed to do that for a while, and then yeah, he suffered a lot. I have been working for Lockheed Mountain company for 29 years. Wow. If you guys don't know what Lockheed Mountain is, it's the company that makes American jet fighters for America. I used to have a job, okay? I used to have a job running a CNC machine, okay? That builds the parts for the fuel lines for Lockheed Mountain. Yeah, I worked there for like 5 years on that machine shop, but then I switched job to different things in life. So yeah, so I run this CNC machine that cut out these fuel line like a piece of fuel that goes in, in like an injector, F-35 jet, yes. Proud of you, man. Proud to hear a Hmong guy come here and talk to me and tell me about your accomplishment in the USA. A lot of Hmong people actually here, somebody like you and somebody else that I know very smart, went to school, educated, become skillful at what they're doing, and then they become somebody, and like I said, Hmong Lao always which they don't know is that people trong Hmong là những cần tới share là những một tao hậu lửa rong đó she they're not literally appear to đến đừng bỏ này ạ, and lấy thế của tiết chết là này nên nên sau đó thôi bây giờ bọn này Hmong là giờ chính là Hmong mình cái mình muốn chọn dễ đó hả, chọn chơi ha, in like even the shuttle the space station in Florida, in West Point, the Kennedy State space station, từ mua cho bọn này Hmong này mua hậu lửa nhân đại control their program nhân đại này ạ, so but you guys just in silence. So good to hear from you. I enjoy your show all the time, young brother. Yeah, okay, appreciate it so much. Okay, I'm not really high educated or anything. But I do read a lot. Get a lot of information from books from I love history, so I like to read about history stuff. So sometimes I talk too much, sometimes all over the place, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, okay? So that movie hàng ngày đó người đi tuổi Asia agent only xuyên nhập mình sau là nó thầu bây giờ luôn những thiết thả bây giờ tôi giờ mình cả đấy thầu chỉ tôi muốn mong mà khó xuyên tiết nè She more mono then, you know, it'll be like a year later before he explore farther out, you know. You guys know that guy, Van Zer, who ran out there. Lòng chênh trong mong lưu plau rong chi li ra tu mun ra tia chùa tuần chia ria mu thong y chê lòng chênh thao yuan trái có lúc của mua lo là chi sa tu do inu mua tia do cho cá lo thao ban giờ này ạ, you know, New York cũ ít tu nhà đã lâu tu lần rau nè. Gỡ vào luôn câu lần đầu chứ luôn nhớ đồ họ nà sù này ạ, nhớ đồ tị nà sù này, cái cú yeej chỉ nè mà nên qua ít tu sĩ hước hiện tại nhớ nà sù thế ạ. So just let you guys know cú yêu nhớ đồ nà nam tu này ạ, nam loạn, nè cú bên này yêu nhớ đồ nam loạn, cú yêu nhớ đồ nam tu, cái lò đồ nà sù này ạ, cái này lò lông chén lò nè mà nên lò la tu đen nam mũ ạ, nên lò tạm mong cha, cho tạm mong cha cho nên mà lò gì lò rồi lông chén lò tờ đến năm muốn gì cũng thời cũng mẹ ai sao like 6-7 years old, but my mom used to bring me to Longcheng, Nasu and to Talata Nasu to your teacher kind of kunia. My mom used to sell stuff like merchandise, so thằng đấy cũng chuẩn bị để cho cũng mua lo này. So I remember cụ ai quay mà dùng nhớ rồi năm lúa, cụ dùng năm tu rồi chị, you know, chị biết tôi là đến là ngân, chị mà tôi rồi là sủ, mà tôi rồi van viên này à, ok, mà mua van viên rồi hiện hơ, mua rồi cá sĩ, hiện hơ mà mua cho ông đạo phun hong, chị mua cho what is that place sĩ khai à, mua ta sĩ khai mà mua đó ta chỉ cho ở Viên Chăn mà mua giờ này là các mua đồ sáng mình hong và đây tàu giờ này mua đồ là chỉ cho ở là đồ thà laน้ำเคลื่อนมาเราทลาดโดนน้ำเคลื่อนเจเนี่ยหมูน้ำเคลื่อนแจ้งก็หมูโตล่องซานหมูโตของนักเงินหมูโตจีโต516ไว้สันโตหมูโตเป็นล่องซานเนี่ยเนี่ยกูป้อได้เชิญเลยใช่ไหม so yeah so วันเจอนี่ที่เป็นเนี่ยแล้วเรา they used to be lovers young lovers living in Nasu, yeah. And then before 1975, my uncle cũng đã lâu rồi nè, lấy một yêu chế thâu nâng rồi, so ni khi chế một là cho cái một đồ ăn viên chăn là đồ Nasu, đã cả đồ tập bây giờ năm tu này, so ni tôi bỏ bên này nó lâu nhớ đồ Nasu gì, ni nhẹ gì cho bây giờ chỉ là tôi người nhẹ hay gì là muốn nhẹ á, lúc sáng mà bây giờ chỉ là một số ở bên bờ chó này, ở bên bờ plaws chỉ bờ chó này nhớ được chưa này, nên muốn nhẹ, nằm mà cũng nhẹ sao, cũng nhẹ tại giờ chỉ này, chỉ bên cái này lấy cái này tôi ngã tôi bên chó tôi ở bên này đã lâu rồi gì, van giờ thì lại này, chỉ van giờ thì một đời人高的。妈咪把营上，苦海底只要拉达，那，让讲那么烧到边点那老啊。I believe you remember I played soccer forward for Santa Ana Barbara from 1970-92 Hmong New Year in around Cali. And you know what, bro? I was in 1990. So I got into the U.S. in 1986, 85, 80, around the end of 85. So then I went straight to live outside of Fresno. So I was an orphan, right? My parents were gone. So I came with my uncle then, and because he worked in the in the farm equipment company. He did a lot of welding and mechanically fixed the farm equipment. And I got to live with him outside of Fresno, like 2 hours away from Fresno, a little bit southwest of Fresno. And that I was the only Asian person, Asian kid over there with a lot of like 99.9% Latino kids. But the funny thing is that I never learned how to speak Spanish. You know, Michael, what Lockheed Martin location are you at? Yes, Phase Gam. He asked you a question, Michael. What Lockheed Martin location are you in? Are you at? He works in Santa Barbara, so must be down there. Okay. Michael must be working down there. So anyway, yeah, I didn't really get involved with the Hmong New Year's in Kearney Park back in those days, and in the summer soccer tournaments. So really, the only New Year that I went, it was one time in 1987 in Fresno, and then the '89, and the New Year, and then I went to like one of the Fresno Civic Center New Year Miss Pageant, whatever, but kind of wasn't really interesting in those days, so Santa Barbara focal plan. So that's the answer, Face. Gam. Michael answer Santa Barbara focal plane. Okay. Anyway, today so I'm gonna talk about the powers of being silent. Lub Fwj Chim wa you Okay. So you guys know that Gu used to be very active. You show you too much then done she or even though now I refrain myself, stay silent, stay silent without commit myself into a fight. And it's a very hard to do. You eat in dollar she become become it became a addiction. You chỉ tao lần đó nên chỉ thua rồi you thung là dùng nhát chỉ taoเลยhả? But cú ya tao một chế yếm này ya, cú nhát đó be a refrain, being silence, and the power of being silence. Being silence, it's a very powerful tool. You nhát chỉ tao, xong đó nên chỉ chế, nếu chỉnh như thế nào, okay? Để xong đây nó là gì của tế kho và ít kho lũ mấy tu lùa được xong tới đó của để tiết lâu có thứ mà nông nhông cơ lý là cụ chế tu lùa là cụ bỏ các phi dân ra ít cho luận có nhau có tế channel có cho đa tế phi mỗi lời cho đua là cho á chỉ có một experience thả luận có đấy cho luận có nữa thì có bộ cả tế được của tiền dùng thiệp bao nhiêu nó họ nên từ nữ lú bảo hộ nha nữ lú dễ nhau họ bắt tài trong cha này à anh chỉ cá cha này bảo mà su này bảo mà su chỉ cá cha này Michael said Lockheed Martin Fire and Missile Control Santa Barbara focal plane. Yes. That's for you, Face. Gam. So, thế cái nô để có tôi chỗ của nó thế cái nô thì và 有一组半年呢 有度容易讲啊，有一度文学了，有一度你去lãnh đạo chỉ能背了了，了要度领导只能背了了，老里讲了。So cú tế nó có là you know cú chỉ tao cú chỉ tụ hustler thế à và bao nhiêu mấy là cú yên tông đó là sĩ đánh thầu cú trở nhỏ high school ở California thế à bao nhiêu America là cú yên tông đó là sĩ hoa thế là sĩ chủ yếu bao nhiêu đủ cú chỉ tao hoa thế nào thì sĩ cú mới tụ phong yêu nên thấy ít cho bao nhiêu đủ sĩ hoa đùa thế nửa thì bao nhiêu đủ mà lựa chọn cái mà mỏ để mình plau đó lựa mình plau đó con lựa chỉ trong này luôn dùa mình plau đó từ từ thì cái mà mỏ đó xí mà mình plau đó bao nhiêu America mà lựa chọn cái chính trị khi đó lựa rong lựa tên cái đó đó thì có số cái chính trị nè chỉ sumu đủ đi bây giờ mong này vì lựa tôi plau mình lựa tên cái đủ mà thì lựa chạy lựa tên chạy bó lo chạy lựa tên plau lo chạy lên đây và bỏ mà su nữa này à, chỉ là một đáp lâu thì có soi thì nửa trong đi đu đấy chỉ có soi cái you can feel it, you know, nên chi nè, chỉ anyway 半年忙了，姑到那不半年不半年泰，半年เกาหลี半年日本，半年说，半年印度，就半年拉西亚或者 European 的了。cú tao ra là papa là thế mà đấy thì cú ya mất hết rồi có nữa tụi mi tí có to nông cú linh đó nó mà con nông cú ta Facebook sao ya Messenger đồ cú sao tan đó cho bọn nhà không rong cha nữa mà ya bọn nhà Thái nữa cái này bọn nhà Thái lúc bỏ họ bắt tay mà lúc bỏ mà su mà rong sắp là nữa cái rong gạo thế cái khăn thế chỉว่าลาวลัวเนี่ยchỉลาวลัวที่ว่าเต็งกายนุ่นดูที่เราลงเนี่ยโอเคสักเขียนทุนเดียวจะปั้นเนี่ยเกาหลีนะแค่นี้ปั้นเนี่ยเกาหลีนะโอเคจะปั้นเนี่ยบลอยปั้นเนี่ยไทยจะขนาดตรงนี้อย่าใช่ไหมมันจะตรงนี้อย่าแต่是กู prefer ปั้นไทยเนี่ยปั้นญี่ปุ่นมาchỉ chua hai chỉ chua hai nữa cái này là chẳng cái mua nè là mua đi sushi nè ya cái nào sponge chỉ cho nè cái họที่เป๊ะจะปั้นเนี่ยพม่านะโอเคนี่กูพม่านะไม่จะปั้นเนี่ยพม่าว่า只要พม่าเด้อ the real พม่านะอย่าเดียวเขากูรัวกูดึงหมดซับปะต่ออย่ากงนะอย่าแต่ยังกูไม่จะยังกงนะแต่是กูเนี่ยรู้ได้เธอรู้แคปโรซีดีเนี่ยพม่าเตะหัวอย่ากงนะอย่ากูไปยังกงนะแต่อย่ากงนะเจกูรู้ไปว่าแต่ฉันนอนนี่บอกกูเนี่ยเราส่งยูทูบนี่เจพอต่ออย่ากงละมายังกงนะอย่ากงนะอย่างนี้ส่งถึงมีก็是ยังกงยังนะ你知道的ยังกงยังกงเนี่ยอย่ากงนะเจ้ากูเคยแล้วนี่จอลัวนี่ตัวลุงของเราเดี๋ยวนี่จอนี่ซาปอเดี๋ยวป้าเนี่ยเรารู้หอหนึ่งตือกูจะถ่ายจอกูจีเราเลยซะกูจะต้องถ่ายจอกูจะต้องจีนะนี่เฉยๆหรือหอยหนึ่งน้ำเต้านะนี่น้ำเต้าเนี่ยกูจะต้องจอดเลยเต้บ่ตายนะอย่างต้องเชื่อเลยเต้หมอสูนอเลยนะกูจะอยากเคลียร์จอตรงนี้จอหมอสูกูต้องนอเราเลยนะโอเคเลยเต้ป้อหมอสูเรื่องดีเรากูตอมถวนนอแล้วนะโอเคมาเคลียร์ในตรงนี้เดี๋ยวนี่สาเดี๋ยวของจงนี่กูเคลียร์เนี่ยเดี๋ยวป้อไทยป้อเกาหลีป้อพม่านะเคลียร์เนี่ยนะเลยจะหันยังไงตรงนี้นะจะพม่าเราใครจะลงก็พม่าดูเต๋อลูกเขามาดูcái kênhตรงนี้ in the ocean ตรงนี้ตาม in the sea เจ้าเราถ่ายทุกข้อเจ้ายาลินดากูเต้เราก็นะเอาตัวมีพงยืดเจ้าอยู่หอบปั้นตัวปั้นเนี่ยตรงนี้จะตัวจะต้องเราลงสิ่งหนึ่งปืนด้วยละเราอยากตัวนั้นรอดสิ่งหนึ่งปืนหางเงินในเทมว่าเอสเปรย์ละเราอยาก tụ bọn chuột đây nè so có yếu chủ tao chu sẽ địa giờ có yếu loại ít tụ loại có thấy tụ lần có chủ tao đánh lần tao đuổi tê nè ấy có yếu tụ khi nó tê đó mà nếu mò nếu thiết nếu như mua tên mình đấy mà thực tế nữa giờ ở đâu tụ lần có nữa giờ cho có một tai ý xin nên còn là chỉ có yếu đấy chỉ yếu là gì còn đây họ có人家个就个有那半年个看得对了，个有要都只能我人家个每时能特对的啦。叫着好点妈妈吧，叫着好点奶爸吧，叫着好点我爸老爸有对照吧，你懂啦？OK experience 特照呢，个木汤得了那个也有叫半照半照那个是有一度半照。ấy tụ bọn chùa nè, ý anh nữ tụ chỉ tua là nữ chỉ mua chỉ là nè, chỉ có sử dụng tụ bọn chùa lên đó nè, bé hoa bọn chùa này ya, giờ thì có sử dụng tụ bọn chùa, trong đấy tụ bọn chùa nè, tụ bọn chùa này mình chỉ tao mu đánh đến đó trả câu nè, chỉ nữ có giờ tụi thi o là giờ tụi thi b chứ chỉ chúa trả vì này đừng tụi chỉ thế nữa thế này chỉ có bị thấy phụ đấy có bảo có hảo rồi chỉ cái you can you can mesmerize her and you can heal her wounds and you can take her out of the sadness that she had in her heart and so she won't miss her previous husband. Understand? Cái sao vậy? Nè, cái lọt ra giờ thì chỉ mua đến đó là gì cơ mà mình tụ ban trao nè, ban trao này tụ có pha nè nó một party một clan đó chỉ nên bự đâu cho nó tụ đó gì nó đó họ có lúc lại cái tụ ban này là cái mình cần sao? Cái của tế đâu có lên đó, trong cái con nhỏ bộ thì nhỏ là tế số này, trở lại của sai cái lông bè này à, cái cái nhớ đó efficient teaching này à, tu hóa đại số và thâu số là hoặc là efficient này à, efficient mà được thằng nữ yêu ít tụi mình nhỏ mà á xin được bao nhiêu đỡ bao này à, chỉ thằng nữ lo chỉ nữ yêu tu lo mua cho và ba lù này cho lù chân dê đầu tiên là sử dụng liệt địa, giờ này muốn chân vào chữ dê hóa đại Salaman cho proverb này. Nữ ít tu mua cho proverb nè, nữ thứ hai thì is do not marry or sleep with a woman who sleep with so many men này vậy mà. Okay, giờ vì cha có họ sao một ít tu半年了要问高问到了要我趁我人的一度半年我女等个那等到都只能了。cái này mình khó problem nó chỉ chỉ kia còn chỉ hai giờ半年 normal á do not sleep do not have a relationship with a woman who sleep with so many men that refers to a prostitute a person that works in a prostitution or a brothel or a whorehouse or any place that service men nè chỉ này sao thì cũng muốn yêu tụ bao mấy cha cho lại cũng yêu là cho lại con người cũng yêu rescue người cũng yêu mua nhia cho người nói cũng yêu cho người lão tụ nên rau nó chỉ người yêu khó chỉ tao tụ nên đó là người mua ít addiction hay tiền người ấy tụ niệm địa nè cái giờ ấy là bây giờ mong America nàyพี่mua yêu cho mấy cha niệm địa mong về người tôi niệm địa nhau bên cha cho nên sao thì nên cho tôi cho America chỉ này有 control 到你，你有 fix 到你，你有 care 到你好disease，人家靠到你的毛病，你让你我弄啊 ，impossible，都弄得一直见得到这高呢。你要如果最好你，等到叫老爸说是，是我来半年的是叫他们没干么了，你等叫老爸了，你等太多了，你等伢啦了，你等还没干么了，你等你那能到啥呢？câu lo câu mê câu đế câu bà thơ câu chữ khác câu chữ thế nâng mua nhẹ nâng bùa nâng nâng nó xin nó xóa này sau nữa thứ bao họ nó nhớ là họ nữa lú hoa lú mài hay điện người cha giờ thầu có một yếu nữa có một đó nữa có một đó có một mỗi cái relationship đó nữa nữa chủ yếu use có temporarily nè the moment nữa nhiều tàu có bao nhiêu cho nên nhiều xứ nè thầu có chỉ mua được nữa nó là cho nên bán bài có xứ nè so in future lo lu kia cho de do not sleep or build a relationship with a woman who sleep with so many men yes so you beware don't get involved with that okay so khi đó có tụi cứ lên đó nó và hai đứa cũng họ lú tế nó有tế tao rồi có nhá bộ thành nhá la tế nó okay có đứa giờ chảo sai của thế chị có nụ cho thì cũng mất tế lên rồi có được sống nó vì cũng sao đứa tế rồi có ý lưng sẽ là nếu nhưเขารู้จริงๆนะอย่างนี้เขา question ว่าอิงไงโลเอ็นนุ่งเขาจริงๆนะvì có ý tụt tụt lùa sẽ là sao vậy chảนะchị cũngสามารถเปลี่ยนเราสู่ YouTube นะเราจะว่าหนึ่งมั่วเขาอีสูริก้อนอันนี้จะต้องป้อเดี๋ยวใส่ตัวป้อนเนี่ยลิจ่าเดี๋ยวอยู่ถอนหนึ่งตื่นรู้ป้อเขาป้อมาสูเทลีจีอยู่เชียนนะโอเคเจนทงเราต่อนี่กูจะเราถากูขัดถาไปก็จะรู้หื้อที่ว่าย้อนเจต่อนี่รองบริจาคนะโอเคเจนยังเราเนี่ยนู้นนอนะเนี่ยนู้นนอนะเจเป็นเนี่ยนู้นเป็นหมดจากยูทูบเบอร์สิจ่าสิเจ๊สิถั่วสิดับเราเขาสู่ยูทูบนอมาจวงกะลีป้าเดต่อนะมาติดโจต่อติดโจต่อติดโจต่อเรื่องตัวมวยเขาเต็มเหมือนสมัยตัวนอมติดโจนะเจถา是那么了ถา是了 blogging 了 people blogging 就了 blog 说就ตัวนึง那是什么每家就你了是到家呢จานนี้มองยาสวยสุดเลยเดี๋ยววิจารณ์นะเจียเลยเดี๋ยวเราคอมเมนต์แล้วเรา express แล้วเขาแล้วรู้จีแล้ว their thinking their mind what they think นะเจได้ถอดตัวให้เจใช้ชีวิตเขาเจกูให้เจอยู่ร้องก็เดี๋ยวกูร้องก็เดี๋ยวก็รู้ไหมใช่เลยกูเจหล่อเจเมื่อเขา conflict หล่อชิเจเจตัวนั้นจะชิเจให้ลูกเพเจชิถั่วเนี่ยชิถั่วเจถอดเต้เจชิถั่วไร因为เมื่อถั่วจะจะ碰ยืดถั่วจะเนี่ยจีถั่วจะได้ชั้นได้เจมุนเทียได้ record จะละหายจะละชิถั่วสวยทุ่งนั่นแหละเจเนื้อคอยหมดตั้งเหมือนละso เนี่ยว่ายิ่งป้อให้เดียนี่จมูกนึงสาเจกูเดียสันดากูชิเจได้สิแต่ตัวยังหายมีจีจ้ากูได้สิมากู remain กู refrain silence นะอย่าวิจารณ์กูเดียกู choose to be silence for now นะนี่ดื้อนู่นจะเราหายลุมว่าเดียตัวเดียว่านึกเจนึกชิต่อนึงมันนึกคือปอดดาวเราต่อปอดเชี่ยเราต่อปอดตุ้นุ่งยาวเราต่อปอดตัวล่อซะเราต่อเจปอดลูกเต้เต้าเกเราเจปอดลูกเช่นมาต่อไซด์เท้าซะเราเจต่อเรื่องนั้นเลยตัวเดียมันนึกแต่เจาะนึกต่อนึงนะโอเคเจเดี๋ยวจะเราด้วยเดียตัวเดียว่าจะต่อก็ไม่ตัวย้อนเชี่ยต่อยตอนจะซิมปึ๊กเช่นก็การเราเองก็คงเห็นยอดจุดจีนะโอเคSo there was a time in my life when I was barking all the time. กูต่อกูว่าตัวเด็กต่อนึงนะ So then I got tired of it. So I learned the trick that to be effective I gotta be silence นะเจกูเดีย choose เราเนาะ silence เที่ยรีจีต่อนึงเลยเจกูเราถ่าว่าชีเลยซึนะ But there's still part of me that I can biteเดี๋ยวกูจะต่ออะไรนึงอ่ะนะเจเรื่อง how to be bite นะอย่าวิจารณ์อยู่ silent นะตรงว่าวิวเนาะ silent แล้วมาเรื่องตีหนึ่งชายอยู่อ่ะอยู่เนาะดูจีเบียร์นี่มุดเต้นเนาะดูจีเลยเนาะใช่ไหมลวดถ่าหรอว่าชินเนาะดูจีนะเจเลสาเดี๋ยวอย่าท้องเดี๋ยวอย่าส่งชายล้วนเนี่ยจ่ออย่าดูเถอะชายหล่อหลุยเนาะชาวลินเดอร์ซื้อหนึ่งมุดจีวะนะ so โรงเรียนนี่มุกเกิด martial art นะ the martial expert do not show off every day อันนั้นหัวกระต่ายรู้เรียนตอนเที่ยวว่าวันเจอพี่ฟื้นเนาะตัวเต้ตัวหนึ่งนึกจะ martial art นึกยังชีโชว์ให้เขาเลยตอนย้อนพะก็จะเลยตัวกระต่ายซะนะโอเคเจขณะอย่าง the powers are keeping yourself silent so that your opponent won't know what you have if you talk too much you tell too much you bark too much they already kind of know who you are and they can pick up your weakness เลยเราก็จุกว่าอย่างก็เลยต่อก็นะขอที่อ้ออย่างก็ silence นี่เนาะนะเจก็แพลนเตานะอย่าก็แพลนเตาพิซซ่าเจียทีหนึ่งละตัวเจก็ว่าเลือกว่าเลียทัวก็เลี้ยวลินดาแต่สิ it really has nothing to do with you เจก็ respond จีก็จะต่อมั่วเต็มเหมือนเราตัวหนึ่งแต่เจก็จะ respond เจนึกว่านึกเขารอเจนึกมูนึกละนึกเจก็เจ้าชิมั่วจังเต้ลุงแต่นึก make up story เลยว่า words หลอนเราก็ชิเจซึเจก็ที่ป้อลินดาเลยเจจีทรูระเบาก็เจก็ silence วิธีก็ยี่ป้อก็ has surrounding ก็ยี่ป้อจะหนึ่งวันหนึ่งป้อก็ให้เจเลยป้อก็เชียร์ตัวหนึ่งลงลินดาเนี่ยเจ no matter what นึกมู make up วิจาร story จะก็เด็ดเจก็เด็ดถั่วก็เด็ดถั่วก็เลี้ยวลินดาละ it is not you it's not who you are นะเจขณะก็ remains ก็ refrain silence เจ you really it's a scary thought scary things to do you know for that other you for your opponent เจก็สามารถ respond to negative uh, attacks negative attack นะเจก็ขณะก็อยากจะต่อcontrol ก็ตัว cell นี่นะอย่าเดี๋ยวก็ตัวป้องอีกข้อได้จีนะพิสาลีเดียนู่นนอนะโอเค so รงก็เลยเดียไอ้โมพาราเวตัว YouTube เจ้าทางนี้สกายตัวโมตัวนั่นนะยาเดียตัวเลยเรา swallow it because อยู่ยิ่งเจจิตเอาเลยที่ตัวเราอยู่ตัว YouTube มาเชื่อเลยอยู่ยิ่งตัวชามุนเนี่ยนี่ข้อได้จีตอนนี้เจนี่ที่สอบพอตัวอยู่ตัวอยู่ยิ่ง吵了有的历史考察找到了点么有从 YouTube 出来么要有去到么呢你一考比的哦就老找了有炒这给家人了 YouTube 你ตัวนึงต่อยิ่งตัว起来有ตัว YouTube ประเจนั่นน่ะ要了เสียนะตัวด่าเรา YouTube มัวอยู่ได้วิดีโอเนอะเทคดาว了อย่ามัวจะมัวเกอเลยอย่ามัวนะอยู่ยิ่งมัวหายยิ่งต่อรักหรออีอย่างนี้ตัวหมวงก็รู้ในปอดแล้วเนี่ยเราโชว์ YouTube ช anel หนึ่งเราให้จะหนึ่งเขา relationship ได้ดูปอฟ้านะด็อกเตอร์พอดูปอฟ้านั่นเองก็เรามัวอีกเขา relationship like a year อีช่วงเท่าไหร่นะหนึ่งดูปอตัวด้านหนึ่งจะรีวิวหนึ่งมันดูจีจอดเจสาเหตุยังมัวอยู่ดูปอได้สิ in the endดัวปอหัดอยู่อันหนึ่งด้านหนึ่งรุ่นหนึ่งปวดตาด้าตอนนี้จะเนี่ยจะมุสีเนี่ยนะจีอยู่อันหนึ่งเนี่ยจีต้นจีหนึ่งเนี่ยจะหนึ่งจีฉีหนึ่งเนี่ยมันดัวปอจะละ blast จะละชัวตัวสองตัวนั่นน่ะเจได้วิดีโอนั่นน่ะเจหนึ่งว่าหนึ่งมั่วอีจอวิดีโอเจดัวปอเลยตัวฟงหนึ่ง for you know มูย่องดาวมูเต้าสายมูเจเลยนะมั้ยเดี๋ยวชิมาหนึ่งเดี๋ยวมูเดินเต้าหนึ่งจะอยู่ถุงเดินเต้าเลยช่วยยัดได้ว่าหนึ่งมันตัวปองคือ relationship they probably have like a privacy you know ตัวเขาหนึ่งจะเราจะหนึ่งโชว์ตัวปอง the address this thing pay for real you know so คันเดียว violation ยันเราเอา YouTube สักกี่ใจนะแต่ชิมาหนึ่งที่มูเดินต้องจะวิดีโอเราตั้งนะจะวิดีโอสนะจะตักอันนั้นนะ so อย่าอยู่ชิตามุเนี่ยลัวลีชิตามุจูลัวเนี่ยวิดีโอจะเราถ่าจะเราให้ลัวเลียเจอยู่ก็ swallow อยู่ป้องอยู่ดู YouTube เลยละ Hong Kong con dâu chia sẻ về một chỉ ở chia to cú ăn đại đó luôn nên cái sao à ý là li cú kia nè cú kia nó nè cú một chú tao Rachel và lưu và ý khó video meme và cú thả ra nơi tụ nè chia tại xin nào và哪里nè ấy mua Rachel và lưu và ý khó go nhau lần đó li chỉ sa kiện nè cú thứ mà ý strike và lưu cái rằng công the YouTube detect 到嘅 YouTube 啲乜股大 video 的 take down 呢？即股啲上到話你，即話你去低股呢只話你係啲 you know 把住到高啦先啦，即股咋股有門田你一個對冇人到冇人做啦，落股有你咋啊？對那時去那股有門田你到人做啦 ，OK？ 你 take 股大 video down 先即。cú xóa rồi sẽ cũng có con dâu nó chỉ cú tàu là nhớ chú cái chỗ nông thì một cái không họ YouTube hay là dùng một nhiều loại video nó lấy một strike rồi dùng tàu gạt xe YouTube sát chạy rồi nhưng một cái không được ta chỉ dùng nhớ cho chỗ nông chỉ đàn được clear rồi chỉ dùng đi là sẽ đi lúc gì sẽ nè so that's the rule that's how it is this is reality không được khó được tiền nè chỉ lên đó lên từ tua trẻ到 YouTube 把这了，人要有做糟了，有糟我操了，有我都杀了，有人拍糟了，落的多有的 YouTube 呢把这，有人到我一样的只用着落了，落人把又拍了，落这里太到，有这么本事，没吃的来没给个到有的 video 呢，大家了这刷了，我跟着接是了么？ตัวพวกของเล่นเนี่ยใครคือได้เจ้าสมอ you know เล่นเสือจะพงเยอะเนี่ยจะมุ่งกูนั่นน่ะโอเคเจอยู่ซ้ำหมดฉี่ซ้ำหมดตู้เสียซ้ำหมดรถตัวอยู่ได้วิดีโอเลยเจอยู่ฉี่เสียเจอยู่มั่วขัดตื้อละว่าฉี่จะทันเราเจอยู่รู้ยุ่งฉันเจต้าเขาเจอยู่ปั๊บเจอยู่ในตัวกายหัวเช่งเลยมั้งหลังจะไปดีหัวเช่งเราเจอยู่ตัวเจรัวว่าดีลุงเราสาวอยู่ทุกเจxã hội tiền chếอยู่tàu kế lúc xã hội tàu nâng được tất cả là đềuอยู่khát tới mừng đâuอยู่ no way ตรงนั้นวันนี้只是對有冇個來 video 嚟切你要冇下片你要 determine what to do 你要只是了接得多了是嗎你去換這個啊vì có một草đó nữa nè chỉ nữa多個把這多些嗱你哋來個呢chỉ lo mất chỉ tua là có tao tua thế nè sau này cho ta tỏ cho là một chú là tê video tôi tê YouTube cho là hai đứa này tụ gì thầu lo tôi mất tua gì sao phải chênh lên tụ cái là mất lại cho bài thầu ấy lại khi cho bài mất bản để đi phải chênh lên này để thế mà tua nè nên cho nênวันนี้ว่า YouTube ส่วนนั้นน่ะอย่างนี้โรงเรียนเดิมสิเจsao làว่า YouTube ใช่ไหม you know so be silence thầu leo lên đó yêu là yêu nhau rồi đó chứ cha của nó này tôi mới của đại YouTube là chạy lại này ạ mà sẽ được tiền chúa cha mỗi nô cho người thi của mà mỗi người là chạy chứ mà chơi như khởi hành tới chơi ba thế mà nó từ lúc khai nhá về điểm phụ về cậu như bỏ hai cái phát kinh nhá số bỏ lọt tới chỗ chi đấy gì chúa cha lại toa bé phá rồi bé là bé giờ nhà lan là toa chứ chống là cái liền bé mà đi xí lúc xí hỏi thì cho cái gì cả tao lúc khai nó bé mới cho phát kỳ số nó lại nó kể xem mà mới nó từ bé nhìn gì tao sao rồi lấy những muốn gì tao nên nó cá chi và cho nên đó hoa cho nên là chơi mày nè cho nên chơi mày đó hoa nhặt cá lụt mông thế rồi cá trư này cho nên rồi lia mình chơi tao rồi cá trư lúc khai bắt cho ăn lon thì sức chơi dùng nhá dùng tròn máu là dùng nhá silence chơi dùng mà ba dùng cho tiệp phá một chữ chơi mới nó từ sai chơi bam shake shock and all nè nếu mà bỏ lỡ được shock and all thầu mi cá một toa Iraqi là hay đi chả George W. Bush một toa Iraq nè shock cái nó này bây giờ xong áp hạ ý này bây giờ lấy tôi xong áp hạ bê mà 我找了路的 shock cái nó mà有主装保林德多跑了多么的好啊了都找天保林德多跑那么多么的我搞带我大陆大的你用kia那kia lên的是呢蛋炒有路让那米了嘛路蒙啊 OK 我搞蛋炒让那米呢考路那么要拉好数山区考给开了那点 shock cái nó này chế mi cam một cỡ我找好说都特都找我上书呢the the art of war 呢给我找呢chế mi cam một cỡ nó thì lấy mỗi khẩu luôn nhá là cái shock cái nó chế nên đi bỏ ra mẫu vị ở Thaum cho thơ tu trò thì ba America một đồ bột bể nhá là thế thơ rồi là trò hồ là Mel Gibson ra mẫu vị hoặc nặng hoặc thì we were soldiers nè we were soldiers Mel Gibson ya thơ thế ít thao in người vậy thơ tu trò là một tuần nhá lại nhá đồ thơ su trò là đồ lúc khai nhá lại nè em này bao nhá là tụ thơ trò là shit tua tao ở bên nông nè chế anh nó America sĩ đi lúc hẹn đó America một tua chế nó America nhớ là tụi thơ tụi trò hay là yếu chủ shock cái nó vì thế nhớ là tụi thơ tụi trò mà nó cỡ số cái tôi trò the book nó một cỡ Sancho the art of war thế hả nó kinh một thế hả ít lần tới tụi trò này thì món nó bây giờ chủ mu tua cho nhớ là America nó tao nè bây giờ mua nhau iPhone bỏ tiền bỏ bông bỏ nó bỏ trò thế nào chứ bây giờ chủ bỏ cả đấy lại cho bà đấy tiền gạo chứ bây giờ bây họ advantage yếu chim bảo lấy mình cả họ nó đấy là bây món nó chọn đủ chứ bây giờ chủ mình gan một cái tiền cao luôn đấy mình cả lúc khai nó nè cho tụt tròn nhau đấy chứ gan tụt kia chứ bây bố lại chứ bây có bây một chế shit tua chế shit chỉ cho li pla shit tao shit là thế nào shit gạo lên đấy chế có bây nhớ tan tròn đó cho tụt tròn American đấy chế lỡ giờ hôn nhau iPhone tua là bom bông là lỡ chủ tua lỡ chó thế này à lỡ chủ tua lỡ chó thế bom bông là lỡ trâu lỡ chó tuôn ra bây thế chế lỡ sử chi bom bông chế lỡ sử chi xóa machine gun tua xóa nhau tua lỡ sử chi xóa跑了tua phân đấy chế bây giờ tao xóa để shit gạo xóa để shit lại xóa mù shit gạo xóa shit gạo xóa shit tua tháo ya跑我那chế bây thế mới yên là chế nhà là tụi tụi trò theo vào liên này bây giờ giờ là thêm một họ trò này mà hai cái tia này bây giờ nên tôi trong cái tia thầu này thầu cam đu là sĩ tôi su trò này America là tôi trong bảo liên đó su trò này là thêm một cho là tôi sau cái lớn nào hoặc là we were soldiers nè ok giờ thầu chính đạo của thảm một cái cái sản dụng này là gì cũng mỗi là bị tự do bị quý tu nên nhẹ tự do cái tôi cho tự do ba sa luôn đang ta lò vấn đề bị lò là yêu vì lý trả thêm một trò lưng từ tuổi yên giờ hỏi tuổi yên tỷ tu đã chỉ trong số trò thế tờ tiêu sợ lò nè chị cũng tiêu mất thả lên em luôn nè chị nhiều chủ bao giá ta lò họ luôn nên á bé mong mà bé bị phun nó phun họ cởi cho thì有个家庭到那大几那就有家庭到路车上加有家庭到那就别全部搞这别好他了别么搞到了就要搞加不了几多我能我也要到给你家有你那不要来的包的老的要你家别全部搞这的我家别梦哈你那帮的头说了我找了家别全部碰到别全部路车看到别全部考一路 institution 了黑别就别么我当的这别全部考别都不拿了考别就别弄知道就早路小都早上都早弄点对的了别叫你都就不好容易别蒙的弄的是那别我抓手有痛了嘞 OK 接连的 be silent is so powerful nè con chia to thế này be silent tại sao nó cái you nhon chia to là chỉ bao giờ you một tí câu nên nương nó cho nên nó hoa chân để you dập là you only to đá nè mu tí câu nhà cái nó lúc đó hậu nhà cái hoa chân để you ya là nhà cái mà chỉ là nhà cái thì như chơi một đá nó chỉ một đá nó chả có有là chơi cũng đi nói chúa của tao hỏi có ya là nè chơi nữa chỉ chơi nữa sợ là hoa chân nữa chỉ có cái gì mà có refrain silence có ya có mù lỡ có ya có lún tu chơi nữa nhớ tao cá chơi nữa chơi hoa chân ta thì ba bữa nó cái co bông ta là có ya có lỡ chỉ tế cho nữa đấy nếu muốn chơi sau chỉ muốn là chỉ chơi nữa nhớ bù chơi lửa nó có tất cả là chỉ có tích khâu chơi đâu nữa chơi nữa xả cho lên nó chỉ bỏ có cho nên chơi có nên chơi mua đá có nhớ khát tin này có ya bán xong rồi ya có là chơi là xả tin này khâu rồi cũng nó cũng chỉ bỏ này ya ok chơiว่าmột tiền lên đâu này nè ấy giờ này trâu lên đi chơi lên đi thua là nhon chơi to xong mình đang đi xịt tờ trả lý cụ tao x小了哇tao ít xong nó ấy tin nàyตัวhai cụ luôn bê有ตัวtờ trả cụ有ตัวchua cụ đi trả là cụ nhau cụ sự đấy gì muốn nấu từ cụ tao một tỏ nữa vậy cụ tí khâu chế đâu nữa chứ tí bỏ đâu nữa chứ còn chỉ bỏ đi nếu bỏ đi ya cụ này đấy là nếu chỉ tao lấy ra đó cụ còn nếu mà xem nữa to đi thì nó cái có bông ta đi nè ok nên cái gì vậy so họ nói ya cái powerful tool nè America lỡ hoa tiệt stoic teaching nè stoic nè mà ya ít cho nâng Europe nè cho nâng Roman lỡ cho lọt khía ya li ba lu thế nó ê yaอยู่วันนึงย้อนละเจอยู่ซัดถาลงต้นดาวyaอยู่สายyaตัวนึงเจิ้นเจอยู่มลงดาวชาลีอยู่มลงชาดาวชาลีอยู่ถานั่นน่ะอยู่ตัวอยู่ลูกป้อนเจนำลงลวดถากังกาดาวดัวลีอยู่มุถาตัวลวดนั่นน่ะเจอยู่ที่ลีเคยดาวจะเกเจิ้นเจได้จะเต็มมึงเนาะยันเดถามว่าอีตัวยังยัวตัวเตอจาก็นะก็ใช้ปวดจังจังยันนี่จีจังจังเราก็เจชอบมึงกี่ก็รู้รอนั่นน่ะ比赛有冇找我找，谁个到了这那呀？OK， 你的 Russia 的 Ukraine 那多找，来我找我找也比了这那就有到么了晒，那些呢，也里的米加么个 Ukraine 多那些，所以米加到了这呢，米加嘛来么注意啊。giờ lấy một tua trò nó lúc đấy chờ nó một tua rồi khả năng một ba đấy chờ mà chỉ tao ít khá là chỉ mà là chỉ ô lên nè dùng đi bé thì cái này nó mua hậu lử bút đó nó có một tao nhẹ nè cái chỉ tao nhẹ cái mua đó chỉ nè cái này nó một ba chén nương là lấy mua đó chỉ đâu có cái một tao kỹ lúc đặc ăn được là cái một tao nhẹ chỉ tao đó chỉ nhớ từ sự nó nè lì bé chọn lầu tức khi bé thầu bé nhiều thì có mua một tao nhẹ là tu nhiều chỉ tao nhẹ cái gì sơ đó chỉ nè cái này nó muốn đàn nhiều lông câu nó nhớ có một tao bỏ qua nè nếu mà bỏ cậu qua mà thêm mua giờ cái đấy chỉ tao bỏ qua nó muốn rõ nữa đó chỉ nữa ok these are the things that cái yêu chúng tao chẳng nói cho cái chúng tao nhớ cái lúc bắt lưỡi cái gì giờ lên nó cũng mất thằng lên nó bắt ta cũng chỉ là cá họ để bên này đã lâu thế ban giờ này đủ nó tua lỡ có nhỏ khó thứ cú bự chỉ tao chừng vô nếu bỏ vào chặt đồ văn sơ là tụi này bên này đã lâu tụi lần đầu nè chỉ tao cá bên này đã lâu một dù bên này đã lâu bên châu cho là này chỉนึกchỉ tao chỉนึกtheo ý xe thằng đó gì bên nhà đó lâu nhiệt tài thế chỉ là kia là đồ thái tế là đi lưu sĩ hợp lý mấy cổ sông này là đồ bắt tạm năm giàu này cho nên tới ban giờ theo liên rõ là cho nhau là sùng là thầu tích chất tới giờ lỡ lò đồ để văn miền là đồ hình hơ giờ là đồ miền tràn là đồ sáng nông khai một nhớ thì một độ chưa là đồ sáng là bắt sông là đồ sáng tỏi bán tham bán đòn làm nhau tỏ nôn hai đó nè nôn hai à chỉ là đồ bắt sông sắp tỏ bắt sông chỉ là đây này chỉ là đồ sáng năn nữa nè chỉ là cho là nhớ đồ tại làm nhau đó này à cái là đồ sẽ nhớ bự lì sáng đó chỉ là bạn giờ thì là đồ thái tế chỉ là nhớ chỉ xa chỗ đồ xa nữa你要找多罗是那样，这投入选的这来在叫多罗的，在那破瓦包叫多抓是吧？这选的这买狗搞了狗一箱哈，完这了狗一箱，这那里我多抓那大家知道那里多么没干了，这那要 first wave of young men who arrived in America，这那完这多鸟了的话 Michigan 那样，多跟到那到 Illinois。University of Illinois nhân đạo à chế lên đại lúc xuyên đời mong chỉ tao tua chế văn giờ tua cần đại luôn đã chế sau đi ra he caught a virus này vậy chế nụ mò chế nụ tua nè chế văn giờ tua nè ok chế văn giờ tua lo chế chỉ tao mong chế là chỉ mua chế bà tua chỉ tao đã hoặc hoa chế lên đại nụ tua cần đại nhân đến tuần gì tụ lòng câu xóa và nhóm mình sự kiện tua cần đại kia nhà phong như chếวันcâuวันtrâu chế选的期末啊，期末梦鸟的成了呀。接连的土龙沟说的，这里交办这木头北面时间就交办，我说给摘了呀，交办我一数我 Christian 里能给摘的就叫木老了是呢，叫木我的呀 cremation 是不是期末年呢？不呀？啊，这。古年的老塔里那啥，古知道包的整了去整了，那老头你多早的前面干了些农田的都胡乱找那些农田刀啊，完这叫个地些，现在了就来别让了种农事些。I could be wrong， 对吧？古还包起整的是吧？古专门叫 whirling 的，古年的老塔都古诶，到哪诶，到别的都那是呢，找你都胡乱找的。万州呢，高菜地金宝高菜嘛，anyway，古人呢塔里那就不有用时呢，要比多讲古的人都塔对到一什么那了 ，OK，so it's appreciate so much 我呢做古年老来里那比呢人都塔呢，这。古只要 podcaster 啊，古要 video blogging, people blogging, storytelling， 你那是这 kind of mixture 啊 ，telling story and blogging 做 people 做点能论能是呐，他做点能论能的对问题话，对actually 开明是单能的那是小别的呢，这你那是那古只要一度 commentator， 一度 documentary host YouTuber 啦，这度podcaster 啦，这度 news reporter， 只要靠啥事呢 ？OK， 一个古开了那包的，被我 YouTube 那些被你莫能到下睇到呢，有个一度 podcaster 那些个鸟好一红的那些个就阿被都能多塔做，你让个吧，多塔做你让某位吧，多塔做你。đại liệt đại tế bọn nó lú chế bọn nó gì con nu nó gì nó tế có cho nên ở bên lưng shit thả nó mà ya podcasting là trong đi radio talk show là mà trong đi có thả nhau radio station cái này tôi shit thả mà ok họ có ý tụ news เข้าสารสื่อnó gì có yêu chủ một cái tía đại có đại bài bắt cái có một cái tía sารสื่อmua sารสื่อเข้าสารสื่อให้สารสื่อ接通的个主有一段 journalist 呢，个木个点一个主，摸叫啥事呢？记都好透啊，比赛的摸能许多，很多二年级多那个主，木做大一个主，木弄能塔的要比你家好多，那真能塔的多你家，然后摸登门的那的，个摸到话啥事了嘛？个嘛叫了靠啥事？这真都说那嘛，个天一段能靠啥事呢？个一段能 documentary。ก็ว่า documentary นั่นมันก็จะจุ่มเชิญ research ก็ต่อจะเจงแต่ยังกงสัญญาเนาะ nữ tụ bao nhiêu tua khăn nó nữ mua hoặc nó lấyตัวขนnó giờ lên đó cú sa có yếu ít khó documentary cho cú bị cú mua công mua bê nè mà có chủ động mua chơi phải bộ thầu cú thì cú yêu khá tư cú nhẹ cú chỉ hữu lý cha cú nhẹ nó yếu bao nhiêu xong tư mua chơi tư mình nhỏ cú lâu nên cú mua nhẹ một lý cha cha nó cú mua khá tới mình nó mà có mà cho là kia rồi đến nhưng mà documentary mà cóว่าดีเนาะนะโอเคตรงนี้ถ้าเดี๋ยวลมลินตัวเจ้ากูมูน่าสิเจ้ากูจะละหายนี่เชื่อสาวสื่อนะนี่เชื่อ documentary นะโอเค commentary นะมาก็ comment จ่อหรือตูขอเต็มเหมือนนะพิสาลีป้อจวดช่วงตัวนะมาป้อจวดช่วงตัวนะเจ้ก็หมู่ว่าป้อจวดช่วงเจ้าหลอดถ่านะมาที่เราตัวขอเนี่ยจะยูทูบเนี่ยน้องหายสนเดียวิจารณ์นะเป็นตัววิจารเป็นตัววิจาร在เนี่ยนะปัจจุบันตัวนะมันก็โรงเรียนนี่น้องมองวิจารณ์มา需要เลยอ่ะมองตัวนึงเราจะมองเจมถอนนึกเจนี่มจวนถอนนึกปั้นเนี่ยไม่หนัวเจถอนก็มองตะการเราสิถอนมองนะนึก需要นะก็วิจารณ์จะก็จุ commentary นะก็จุ comment จอนึงใช่ไหมก็จุดต่อมุจูปัจจุบันจะดูวิดีโอจะจอจะก็ใช้ก็ใช้จอนี่จะ说路哩ก็ใช้จอนี่จะ高哩ก็จะให้路ช่องเดียน้องๆนะกูจะเนี่ยเราใช้ปัจจุบันในวิดีโอนะนี่ถอนน้อยถอนนี่ตัวหุ่น高เนี่ยตัวป๊อเป๋นี่นะไทยเต้นะอย่างนี่เช่นนั้นถอนน้อยไอเจอรัวๆรงๆเลยนะเจนี่เช้าเอาตัวลง高เองตัวปัจจุบัน水在那ตัวน้อยหัว半夜里ตัวน้อย买的นะตัวน้อยเขาตัวถอนน้อย买ท่อนะนี่ใช่เลยกงนะเจ้ากูถักให้เนี่ยถอนน้อยมากูยิ่งมันย้อนลงแต่นอเทียกูมันจะเปลี่ยนตัวเนมลงนะปัจจุบันมาอีตัวน่าหุ่นก็มันดูหัวสัตว์ตายเลยเนาะนี่ปอนนั่นแหละเนี่ยน้อมาก็ที่เรียก commentary ก็ยังตัว YouTuber comment จะได้ขอ event ลินนอนะอีเป็นจำมงนะเจ้าเสนตัวจุลาสิที่จะตัวเอาป่าลีเอาป่าตัวลันเจตันเราจะเป็นเราว่าจะโอ้ตัวมลชัวมลเจแล้วจะตัววิจารตัวทำลายเจนึง等等了ตัววิจาร我一起这个了新导是多了这点ตัวดีเบ้เนี่ยมันจะมอง了เนี่ย被ตัว是假是接受了你没啥事我假有没啥事也是没人认为ตัว是接受 YouTube เนี่ยป่าเนี่ยมงเจหมดเลยจ้ะเนี่ยป่ามงเจหมดเลยจ้ะโอเคเจ้ากูมาสอนเลยนะว่าจะ到ตุติเราไม่ก็ช่างกันยา到ซานตาบาบราก็ตัวเคมีจ่อเด็กก็ยังตัว engineering ว่าเขาหรือตัวมองล็อกฮีดรู้บริษัทมีการรู้บริษัทวันนี้ของ F ไปจุดจีนะแค่หนึ่งว่าเขาหรือยังเราหนึ่งตัว engineering นะบริษัทเดียหนึ่งยังตัวเราประกอบจากเครื่องอยู่สีตัวรุ่นของเราเดี๋ยวหนึ่งกูประกอบม้วนรู้จีละสาเดียรุ่นของเราอยู่จุดว่าอาชัติใครลีนออยู่จุดว่าอาลูลอจอกขนออยู่หรือดันบองจอกขนอมาที่ลีอยู่หมดตัวโตที่ลียาจังอยู่จุดว่าลูกจ๋าลูกหมดนอนหอดจอลงลีนอเหมือนที่ยาจังบอกลีนอนะเจขนอยังอีตัวอินจิเนียร์จะเข้าเหลือพิสัตก็ยังอีตัวนับของครัวนั่นแหละมาลุมบลอนนับของครัวลินเดอร์นะโอเคเจย้อนเรารุ่นเต้นนะเจก็有我一家空เจก็有做么一度 engineering นะโอเคก็有到ปักลักษณะเดียวรู้เชนนะก็有ปักกดว่าลินเดอร์นี้有哩จารู้รอดเทียนต่อนะ有哩จารู้เชนเต็นเตต่อ有做么 break นะพ่อเจน break เนี่ย有哩กวน break 都有ต่อรู้รอ有哩จาอันไหนเราสิบัวเราไต่รู้นะบ่เรา要我一路靠路一路路去主要就阿人 bring 的家里那冇大把呢，今年哩就适合也到了就了，路车就路浪大家了，路浪大家就哩话路高路去诶，个主个都 break，对就来阿来 pad 的 expand 的就这路浪个呀，这是上买钱了就了话，被打好天大家阿来面就老是大那就路高路近东大就个地主就阿都caliper 的都 piston push 来 đại sát lâu nó mà ni nhau tùy họ chơi sao để suy đại sát xì nó chỉ có chú có tụm break paddle chỉ cho fluid nhá về cái lô cylinder nữ thơi một cái thơi tụm break nó như một thơi tụm piston như tụm piston mà lấy một để tụm caliper chỉ mà một thơi đại mình nhớ this như một tài có lú lò và lú câu lò đồ đại đâu sát thì nó chỉ có lú chain đại hydraulic là lấy hydraulic pressure hydraulic braking nè chỉ người ấy tụi engineering đó chỉ cú rong xéo mấy tụi engineering trở lại chồng luôn cú tụi tháo khí nhớ tháo xí là thế nào cái rong xéo này tôi cho mày cầu xong nhớ họ là Santa Barbara như nhắn đã cả Los Angeles ý họ chơi rong câu hàng này hiện sự mà beach mà đất bầu ha cái chỉ đứa cầu mong biết trong đó là cú đứa thải ít số mong đứa cầu chín là thi là gì mỗi trò chơi lên nó nó nói gì 我他容做呢，叫也努力了，你说啥的讲呢？OK，他干嘛呢？你叫人家的啥弄饱了，不用，你叫人家的啥弄多了，磨了的，木可那可好那熟了，赶紧这给那看人用，OK，星期多人用的呢。